Good evening, everyone. I, Rachi Pathak, Student Manager BIMM, would like to introduce Mr. C. Sreenivasan. Mr. C. Sreenivasan is MCom, MA, LLB, MBA, and PG Diploma, IR, and PM. Sir has over 2.5 decades of hands-on exposure in core public sector and private sector companies. He has worked in manufacturing, banking, and infrastructure sector. He has worked in companies like J Engineering Works Limited of Shriram Group, Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency Limited, ING Bank Limited, National Thermal Power Corporation Limited, GMR Group, and Lanco in different capacities, and handled the entire gamut of human resource development function. His strong areas in HR include performance management system, balanced scorecard, development of business organograms, process re-engineering for reduction of transaction time and change management. Sir is currently working with Ramkey Group as Chief People Officer. He is a corporate member in National Institute of Personnel Management, a member in CII HR panel of South Zone, besides an advisor in Engineering Staff College of India. He has a penchant and flair for sharing the information with younger generation for their smooth transition into industry. He would like to be questioned and enjoys interaction. One of the landmark achievements of Sir was development of HR document as a part of business bid document for modernizing Mumbai and Delhi airports. This document scored the highest marks, and Government of India has given the first right of refusal to choose one out of these 2 metro airports. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you here today with us. The podium is all yours.
Narayan Murthy's, Ajim Premji's, and Indranui's of tomorrow. My good friend Suresh Raman, who had just now spoken, and Colonel Bala, and other senior corporate colleagues and friends. Indeed, it's a privilege and honor to me that Colonel Bala has invited me to be here and to share a couple of thoughts. Fine. The subject is very, very interesting, I am sure. If not dosages of Gyan, what you must have received since yesterday, and to continue till tomorrow evening. Perhaps there could be some overdosage also, but please make sure that every dosage is important to you. The reason is that, as Suresh Raman has said, that the market is totally dicey now, right? 2008, yes, that was the described as equivalent to 1930s of depression. But now, though Suresh Raman was saying it's a double depreciation, but today Economic Times say it is a triple depreciation, and particularly in UK. So therefore, there is definitely a tumultuous times ahead. But let me tell you, this time is very important for every one of us to learn a lot, see a lot, expand ourselves a lot in terms of geographies, so that you continue to be employable in the market. Well, I have about 5-6 slides of presentation, and I represent infra sector for the last 13-14 years. And now I see the growth of infra at crossroads, and most of the infra companies are undergoing highly tough times, if not tumultuous times. But let me tell you that India will be reckoned only when the infrastructure growth happens. The 12th five-year plan, I'm sure you are all aware, has envisaged almost $1 trillion only for the infra development across the country. Now, take for example, either IT or manufacturing. The IIP shows, even in the last quarter, is very, very dismal. Coming to the next 5-6 years, take the word from me that it is the infra which is going to give a best market. No doubt, currently, next 1 to 2 years, yes, it is a tough times. But by that time, these companies would also become highly professional companies. I am sure that the students of BIMM would join in infra and change their color. So therefore, it is likely that infra is going to take the driver's seat in the business growth in the coming years. Now, I'll just give you an overview of the sector. I do not know. I always see from different angles. At times I get a feeling that there is a challenge available. At times I get a feeling that there is a conflict. But both are very important for the individual's growth. Now let me give you a snapshot view. Most of the infra companies, particularly in India, are first-gen companies. And there are hardly 1 or 2 companies which have moved into second-gen. Otherwise, they all are first-gen companies. Dealing with first-gen entrepreneurs is extremely difficult. What these entrepreneurs want is that if they invest 100 rupees, they want 200 rupees by evening. And unless the second and third generations come and take the reins of the organizations, perhaps they would definitely respect the profession, what you bring into the organizations. The infra companies, if you see the origin, they all started as subcontractors. In fact, if you see the construction field, right, years ago, decades ago, centuries ago, subcontractors, meaning they are known as item rate contractors. And from there, it has now become EPC players, meaning engineering, procurement, and construction companies. We have a number of companies across India, and possibly about 25 to 30 majorly contribute for the construction growth and progress in India now. And these EPC players have become developers by way of BOOT and BOT principles. But the infra companies remain very parochial, highly narrow-minded, because still the professionalism is yet to sink in. I do not know. We are all players if we call ourselves, but I don't know who are the game changers. So if BIM students are the game changers, I am sure that the infra companies also would become professional companies like IT companies or manufacturing companies. But that is the need of the hour now. There is lots of dishonesty in the infra companies. The thing is, most of the infra companies, they deal only with the governments. major projects, either you take highway projects, or you take water and wastewater projects, or you take building projects, or you take industrial projects, or you take irrigation projects. These are all government sovereign function projects. So hence, what happens? While dealing with the government, it so happens that unless you wet the palm of the government, you cannot get your business. Take the word from me. Absolute dishonesty. Changing file from one table to the other table requires lots of manipulations, And with all that, the margin of benefit each EPC company gets is hardly about 2 to 2.5%. And there is a tough competition. In fact, I had observed about 5-6 months back, couple of infra companies entered into a cartel also. So therefore, it is seen that this cartel is allowing other companies just to keep quiet. So therefore, there are many new business inventions are coming, which are actually spoiling the internal competitiveness as well as external competitiveness. There is a huge dependence on government for order inflow, and the process is through public and private partnerships. So there is a big model called PPP, and this is the way in which government is giving the partnership to private companies. Now if you see, as I said, $1 trillion, the 12th five-year plan started effective from 1st April 2012. And out of this, the 50% of the investment has to come from the private, and 33% of the investment has to come from the state, and the balance only will come from the center. So look at the massive investment government is planning to get from the private sector. Stimulus package in 2008, that was the recession what we had, actually has ensured a big boost to the infra companies, because if at all anything has to overcome the recession, the so-called double dip or triple dip recession, it is the government alone can pump in huge investments so that the economy can get a kick. There is a mushroom growth of infra companies. I do not know, small, medium, big. Any Tom, Dick and Harry can open an infra company. But there are some who are highly successful. But there are many who spoil the competition. Now the question for the business is it business first or people first? Every time we get a big challenge on this. Now, sorry, if anyone can answer this, please, you are most welcome. People first or business first? People. But the entrepreneur says it is the business first. So we have to fall in line with the entrepreneur, what he says. But the moment you join and take up the cudgels in the organization, then it is you who have to change the mindset of the entrepreneur, saying that not necessarily the business is the first, it is the people who are the first. But so you have a huge responsibility over a period of time. And family versus professionals, all private sectors. Today, did you get the news that two brothers of Chadda family shot each other in the morning? And we know that the leading Gujarati entrepreneur, and when he was there, yes, the family of 3 people were very intact, and afterwards Kamath had to intervene and got the brothers' disputes got resolved. So therefore, this is a huge issue that is going to come up between family and professionals. Family wants something and professionals want something. So how to get a connect between these two? Conversion of line managers into business managers. Every manager is a business manager. Every function has got a business connection. But if you see from your own point of view, your own business line, and you think that it is extremely important, I think that is somewhere we commit ourselves a big mistake. So look from the business point of view and see that it is the line manager who need to be a